our project today? Well, I'm going to show you how to remove this box. It's a plastic nail-on box inside the wall. Have you ever had a need to pull one of those out or to drill a hole and you don't have enough room? Because the reason why I'm taking this box out, I'm going to get a long bit. It's called a flexi bit, and I'm going to drill through this wall cavity straight down through the floor. There's a subfloor down here, and there's a crawl space underneath the house. And I'm going to actually run another wire into this box that goes down underneath the floor, that then feeds an electrical box over here. This whole unit, this sectional, is going to be powered. I needed to put power into the floor, and I'm going to put it right there. But I've got to take power. I'm going to take power out of that box right there. That's where I'm going to get my power. Okay, and I'm making a whole electrical or a whole series of videos on this entire project, so they'll all be on my channel. But this particular video is just showing you how to pull one of those boxes out. Maybe you've got a crummy box. Maybe your screw area, your thread area is broken or stripped, and you can't get your electrical outlet to fit in there nice and tight against the wall. It's always loose and shaking around, and you want to plug in and it keeps bugging you. Well, you can take your electrical outlet box out, just like I'm doing, and then what am I going to put in there eventually? Well, eventually I'm going to take a cut-in box and put in there. See, and this is a cut-in box. It's got a little flap on the outside, and then this flaps in to push the box in. Then you tighten up the screws, and then this flapper goes out, and then you keep screwing. As you first put your screwdriver in here, after you get it in the wall, then as you get ready to tighten up, doink, now you start screwing that, and then that starts sucking in behind the sheetrock on this screw, and pulls that up. And so I'm going to put one of these boxes in, and if you notice, I got two different boxes in here. One is thicker, deeper than the other one. See? Look how deep this box is, because I wasn't sure how many wires were in this box. Sometimes, if there was 3 wires in this box and I was adding another one, I'd have four sets of wires in there, 4 blacks, 4 whites, 4 grounds. Then I have to put some pigtails in there, so I would have big wire nuts in there, a red wire nut, 2 red wire nuts, and another one for the grounds or something. You see what I'm saying? I'd have to shove all that into a thinner box. If I put this thin one in there, I've got this electrical outlet in there to there. As I screw it back in there, see? I'm going to go to there. I only have this much room back there to fit all those wires and wire nuts and everything. And so that's why I thought, hey, be smart this time. I'll get a bigger one too. I'll get a bigger, deeper one. Well, if I can fit this deep one in there, I got plenty of room. I got all kinds. I'm swimming with room. Look at that. Look at all that extra space I got. No problem pushing all that stuff in. The only thing with that is where these wires are, they're nailed. There's a stud right along that left-hand side. I know that because this is hollow up to there. Stud's there, then it's hollow. Over to the next stud, right there. See? And by code, when these wires are going up, they go up and they're alongside this 2x4 in the wall. And they're stapled. And they're supposed to be stapled within 6 inches of the box. And so if I put this long, deep box in the wall, I might have an issue with these wires having to go back further before they come back out. And because it's so long, now, these wires are gonna have to stick in further. They're not gonna stick out as far. Does that make sense? Because it has to come way out. What I could do, if I decided, I could knock one of these out and then notch this up a little bit further, let's say, so that the wire, instead of the wire going in right there, the wire could be going in about there and then pulled out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, either way, that's going to be coming up. So this particular video that's why I got to get this box out, because I'm going to drill a hole down through there. I want to have all this stuff out. I don't want to just try to knock the plastic out here and try to get a drill bit down in there and all that without messing this up. You know what I mean? Plus there's insulation in this wall. If I can get this whole box out of there, I can reach my hand in there kind of carefully and kind of move the insulation around so I have enough room to get the drill bit all the way down there and not wind up in the insulation as I'm trying to drill a hole. Okay? So if you want to watch this, stick around. Okay. So to get this box out, there's 2 nails on the side of the box. There'll be nails. This is a 2-gang box, but that one is just a single gang box. So the nails are kind of coming through the back side, but then they come through on the edge of this and nail on. So that's how this actually got. I do have a single box with the nails on there. Look, that box in there looks just like this one. Okay, this is nailed right to the side. One up here, one down there, see? And so I've got to get in there with the hacksaw. I'm going to get in there with the hacksaw, right in through here, and I'm going to cut that off. And I used to do this. I had a hacksaw where you could take one side off and just use one end, or one of those small little mini ones where it sticks out at the end. But you know what? You just need the hacksaw blade. That's it. You can do it with your hands like that. And I know these blades are so small, it's very difficult for you to see which direction they're going, okay? But if you look on hacksaw blades, and I just noticed this the other day, look on hacksaw blades, usually it's got a little arrow. See that right there? That's an arrow. That means the blade tips are going this way, which means you want to cut that way. If I were to flip this around and try to cut, the blades are actually going the wrong direction. It would take me forever. Okay, so when you hook this up into a hacksaw, I always would squint real hard, try to see these teeth, because this is 32 teeth per inch. That's TPI. Teeth per inch, 32. 32, yeah, in 12 inches. 32, and so, some of them you can get 24, 16, whatever. I like to get the most tips on the ends to cut metal and stuff. Okay, so I know the stud's over here, and if you're not sure, if you're tapping, you're not quite sure, you could take a nail and poke a nail into the side, right on the inside, so you don't mess up. What we're trying to do is not mess up the edge of this at all. So when I put the new box in, it's going to cover everything, okay? And the first thing I noticed is I've got to clean off this edge just a little. The sheetrock mud is going over that edge. I'm just going to use this as a saw, kind of. I want to make sure I'm not over any sheetrock mud or tape line, you know, because as I pull that out, I don't want that to hit something else and rip off a little bit of the sheetrock, you know. I want to make sure this is all clean, okay. And it looks actually pretty good. This edge right here was off just slightly, and I'm just shaving that off so I can see the edge all the way around. Okay. I'm going to take my crummy, where's my hammer at? happened to my hammer? I gotta find my hammer. Oh, I got it over here. I was hoping I didn't leave my hammer underneath the house because I've already gone down under the house one time. I've got to get enough room to get my blade in there. Now see, it feels pretty good right there. Okay, I don't think I need my hammer. I was going to take my screwdriver. Sometimes you have to take your screwdriver in there and kind of push this over to give it just a little bit more room and pry on it to give you a gap big enough to allow your hacksaw blade to go in there. We're just going to leave that in there. And now I'm going to use this just with my gloves, and I'm going to cut that top nail off. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, power's off. I don't have to worry about that. You hear that? I'm hitting the nail right there because I know it's up here towards the top. You can do it, come on. There. Okay, got the top one. Okay, now I can kind of wedge the bottom a little bit, not a whole lot, so I don't want it to mess up over here. Put that up at an angle so I can get my blade in there. Got to get that blade between the plastic and the wood there. I'm feeling where the nail is, and the screwdriver tip might be in my way just a little bit. Okay, there, right there. I know that's where the nail is. We'll keep pressure on this and pull down on it as you're going. Little short strokes, and that's all you got to do. Just keep going. Try to hang on to it. Try to go straight because you're going this far and trying to keep that straight without bending this blade. That's the tricky part. And then see if you do this enough, pretty soon your end's going to be dull there, and then you could cut that off with some tin snips or something, and then you've got a new blade here that you can keep using for stuff like this. Come on. There. Okay. And I wasn't sure how thick this wall was, but you know, I could open up the door and check it, but I could check it this way too. Just push this in until I hit the back, and then pull it out to about there. I think this is a 2x6 wall. Look at that. I think it's a 2x6 exterior walls, which is good. Lots of times they do just a 2x4 wall. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. It's that wide. That's more than a 2x4. There, from there, that's about 5 1/4. 2x6 exterior walls. That's good. See, I don't need that anymore because this whole box should be loose now.